Hi everyone, it's Karen McLaughlin, certified personal trainer, here with you on a very snowy Tuesday in Southern Ontario for my weekly Tuesdays at 2 Facebook Live broadcast. So I hope if you're getting as much snow as we are, that you can take a break from shoveling for a little while and join me for this week's edition. Today I'm going to talk to you about something called if-then planning. And I know you're thinking, oh, fantastic, Karen, that sounds just scintillating. I know it doesn't sound exciting, but let me tell you that this simple technique has been shown in research to increase your odds of success by 2 to 3 times for any type of behavior that you're trying to change. Okay, let me just repeat that again. For any behavior that you're trying to change, using this technique will increase your odds of success by 2 to 3 times. I don't know about you, but personally, anything I can do that's going to help me increase my odds of success by 2 to 3 times, I'm going to give it a try. Is it not increase your odds of success by 5% or 15% or 30%, which is still actually pretty good, 2 to 3 times. And guys, this is pretty simple. It's amazing to me, and I've said this before, so many of the things that we can do to really help ourselves, the things that have been shown by research to be really effective, are actually pretty simple. They're nothing earth-shattering. They don't actually sound that sexy. And I think that's why we discount them, right? Because it doesn't sound glamorous or like, wow, that's the most amazing thing I've ever heard in my life. So we just minimize it. And that's really where we give ourselves a huge disservice. And this is just pretty much human nature, I think, is that things that sound too simple, it's like, oh, how can that possibly make that huge of a difference? But look, guys, the research really backs this one up, and it's kind of fun. So you're probably going, come on, spill the beans. Are you going to tell me what the heck if-then planning is? So yes, I'm going to tell you that right now. It's very simple. If-then planning means it's a strategy where you think in advance about what might happen that's going to stop you from doing the behavior that you're hoping to achieve. And you say, if X happens, then I'm going to do Y. That's the whole thing, really. But it's going to increase your odds of being successful by 2 to 3 times. Okay? So the reason why it's so powerful, in my opinion, first of all, you know, you guys, I talk to you about habits all the time. I know you're sick of me talking to you about this, but it works. So when you're setting goals, if you're going to be successful, I mean, I've talked about this till I'm blue in the face, but just in case you haven't heard me talk about it yet, when you're setting a goal, you can't set a general goal, like I want to lose weight or I'm going to eat better. Like, those are crappy goals, okay? Sorry, guys. It has to be specific, so you can build a habit around it, because daily habits are what is going to get you there. So, oh, Rachel, I see you. Yeah, you can watch the video later if your internet's cutting out. Hi. So you have to find something you can build a habit around, and it has to be small and it has to be specific. And so remember I said, you know, it sounds really boring to do these little baby step habits, but they're the things that are going to stick over time, and then when it truly becomes a habit, you don't have to think about it anymore, you don't have to use willpower anymore, you are golden forever because you just automatically do it, just like you drink your cup of coffee in the morning without thinking about it. So some examples of this I want to get to right away. So maybe one of your goals, because you're trying to move more, so your overarching goal is moving more, but one of your specific daily habits that you're trying to form is, I'm going to take a walk for 15 minutes after lunch every day at work. And hey, you could make it more than that if you'd like to. If you can do 30, more power to you. But for some people, that's too intimidating. So let's just call it 15. So that is your specific daily habit goal. I'm going to take a walk for 15 minutes every day after lunch at work. So if you're not already doing that, obviously there might be some barriers to that. So your job when you're doing if-then planning is to think about what could go wrong. What could stop me from achieving this goal? Because we all have things that get in the way. Otherwise, we'd be doing it easily already if there weren't barriers, right? So in this case, it's important to think about what might go wrong. So maybe for you, if you're a really social person, the thing that could go wrong is that your coworkers just want you to sit and chat with them for the rest of lunch. They don't want you to go for a walk. So they're like, oh, come on, just sit here and talk with us for a while longer. You know, they want to hear about the latest gossip. They want to hear about your trip to Italy, whatever. So what are you going to do? What I would do is I would say, if my coworkers want me to sit and chat with them, I'm going to invite them to join me on my walk. To me, that seems like the simplest solution. And then you get some social time as well. So it's a win-win. It's like you're getting your walk, now your coworkers are getting a walk too, and you're all getting some social interaction. So to me, that's the easiest solution. But maybe your coworkers just aren't as cool as you are, and they're not into taking care of themselves as well as they should. I know it sounds mean, but you know, one of the things I find that can really hold us back is sometimes when other people see us making these positive changes, when they're not quite ready to do it yet, they don't really want you to do it either, because it makes them feel bad that you're doing it and they're not. I know it sounds mean, but it's just human psychology. So whatever you're trying to change something, you got to be prepared for those people that aren't ready to deal with your change. You have to be a little bit stronger. So hopefully you've got awesome coworkers and they just go on the walk with you. So then your if-then plan worked just fine. But you have to think about what else might happen. So what if you execute plan A and they say, no, we don't want to go for a walk. It's too cold, it's too rainy, it's too hot, it's too, there's every excuse if you don't want to do it. So then your plan could be, if my coworkers decline my offer to come walk with me, I'm simply going to explain how important this daily walking commitment is to me and that it's a high priority for my life, and I'm going to go anyway. And that might sound like too basic, but it's amazing, like really the psychology of it when you've actually gotten yourself prepared for it in advance and you can just go like that and know what to do and not be like a deer in the headlights, or not be just kind of not wuss out, oh, it's too hard, they don't want me to go. So that's what if-then plans are for. It gives you a very clear plan for how you're going to handle a situation. And your brain likes to run these little programs. It's because your brain is sort of like a little computer, not a little computer, a huge computer. So that's kind of the beauty of the if-then plan, is that your brain just goes, oh, we already decided this, if X, then Y. So then you can just roll that plan out without having to think about it. So any behavior that you want to change that you're having trouble with, you can go through this if-then planning. And some of these some behaviors, if you're really struggling with it, number one, if you're really struggling, really struggling, it might be too big of a change for you, and maybe you need to take a step back and make a smaller baby step goal in that area. But sometimes we struggle with stuff that isn't really that hard. We're just not getting it done. So just sit down there, and if you have been struggling for a while and you already know, you can sit there and think, what has it been that's stopping me from achieving this goal? Like if you've been trying it for 2 months and you're just not getting it done, more than once or twice a week, sit there and think about what's been going on, what has been keeping you from it, and then just make a list of everything you can think of. You can make an if-then plan for each one of those babies. But the surprising thing is, usually it's not a laundry list of a dozen things that's keeping us from any given one of those little behavior changes. Usually it's only 2 or 3 things, like the coworkers, or depends on what the goal is, but just getting distracted and forgetting to do it, or sometimes you just need to make a clear time of the day to do something. Another example, this one I'll give you one to do with eating. And one thing I know that a lot of people struggle with is sugar cravings, especially in the afternoon. That mid-afternoon period can be really killer for people. And sometimes it can either just be the physiological, your blood sugar's plummeting, and that sets off a sugar craving. And for some people it can be emotional, and they tend to get emotionally triggered when they're feeling more fatigued, near the end of the afternoon. But for whatever reason, that tends to be a problem for a lot of people, that they either for emotional reasons or just fatigue-y type of reasons, they get that sugar craving in the afternoon. And then, if you're at the office, there's usually a lot of stuff to immediately fulfill that craving. So, people bring all kinds of junk into work. So it's really easy to just grab it, right? So this is another one where the if-then plan can actually work really perfectly. So you can say, if I get a sugar craving, either if I get a sugar craving in the afternoon, or when I get a sugar craving, whenever I get it. When I get a sugar craving, I am going to, and then you got to think really hard about what is it that's going to work for you. This one, I find it really depends on the person. I can give you a suggestion, and some people go that never worked for me. Because for me, what works great is I have this tea that I love, President's Choice Chocolatey Chai. And it's actually a really nice, clean tea. It doesn't have any junk in it. It doesn't have any sweetener, not even stevia or anything like that. But it just has this great, chocolatey, spicy, and slightly sweet taste to it. And if I throw a little bit of coconut milk in there, man, I love it. And so whenever I'm tempted to eat junk, that's my go-to little afternoon treat. And it really actually does satisfy me. I know some people are like, yeah, a cup of herbal tea, right. But for me, it truly does feel satisfying and like a bit of a treat. So it works great. For you might not find that works great. And sometimes I can combine that with another distraction if I need to, which is curling up with a book at the same. So a tea plus book equals really good distraction. Because guys, one other thing I should tell you about sugar cravings or any type of food cravings, that they found that usually cravings only last for 3 minutes. 3 minutes! 3 minutes. So if you can get over that 3-minute hurdle, usually you're golden. Unless you keep re-exposing yourself to the stimuli and getting a new craving. That's why it can be a problem when people leave stuff lying around at work and you see it all the time. But just to know that craving is only going to last you for 3 minutes. What can you do to distract yourself? Okay? So that's why for me the tea and plus or minus a book works great. Then I run into the problem of having to dig my nose back out of the book to actually go get stuff done, because I like to read a lot. But anyway, so that's my solution. Another one could be, if I get the sugar craving, then I'm going to have an apple with almond butter. Some people just need a food substitute that's going to work for them, because you might actually be truly hungry. So that's another one. But you have to pick something that's A, healthy, and B, really, truly, honestly satisfying to you. So if you don't like apples with almond butter, that's not going to work. But think of something that you truly enjoy that's actually a healthy choice. Preferably with some protein in it too, because if you're getting sugar cravings, you're probably not getting enough protein at lunchtime. So that's another thing. This is kind of a little tangent off of our little if-then plan, but that's one where if you're actually getting them on a regular basis and you don't think it's just sort of emotionally driven, if it's actually a blood sugar issue, more physiological, look at what you're eating for lunch, and maybe you need more protein and less carbs at lunchtime, and that might stop it from happening. Okay? Anyway, if you're getting the craving and you're going to eat something, try to get some protein in there. Don't just scarf down a bunch more carbs because it's going to lead to another sugar craving later. Okay? A third one could be, if I get a sugar craving, I'm going to go for a walk around the block. You know, especially for those of us that work at home and, you know, it's kind of easy to rummage around in the fridge and the cupboards and grab stuff. Now, in my house, you know, I don't keep a lot of junk around anyway, but there might occasionally be something. So it's another, just getting yourself out of the environment for a few minutes, more than those 3 minutes that it takes for the craving to pass. And, you know, a little bit of movement, a little bit of fresh air, a little bit of distraction can work wonders. So that's another way to do it. So really, that is all there is to it, to this whole if-then planning thing. And it didn't take me very long to explain that to you, but, you know, it's astonishing to me. It's the amount that it increases people's odds of success. There was one study, I can't remember where they did it, but they were taking a look at people's exercise behaviors and trying to get them to work out 3 times a week. And they had half of the people make an if-then plan regarding their workouts on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And the other people did not make an if-then plan. And so the people who made the plan were successful 91% of the time, and the people who did not make the plan, it was about 30. So that's 3 times, you know, the success rate just by making a simple plan. And so the other thing I would do is encourage you to put these in writing. It'll stick better, and then you can have it somewhere. You know, if there's something that you're one of your goals you're trying to change that's at work that you're struggling with, and you know, if you have word finding difficulties here, a bulletin board, that's the phrase I'm looking for. If you have a bulletin board, you can post it on in your office what your if-then plan is, or you know, if you want to keep it a little more private, you can, if you have a cupboard door, you can stick it on the inside of the cupboard, or you can just have it like on your screensaver on your phone. I don't care what you do with it, just have it easily accessible, so you're going to see it and you can whip it out whenever you feel that moment when you're weakening and you don't think you're going to be able to stick to your behavior. Whip out that if-then plan. I know it sounds kind of goofy, but this is a powerful technique. Simple, but it works. And yeah, you might not get it right every time, but you're going to get it right a lot more often. And you can also then refine your if-then plan if the original one doesn't quite work for you for whatever reason. Say your little plan for your sugar craving, you found, oh, that plan isn't working for me so great. Think of another one. Just keep going until you get what works, and then work it until, you know, once something's a habit, then you don't need your if-then plan anymore. And then you can pick a new behavior that you want to work on and make a new if-then plan for that one. See, you're never done, but that's what makes life fun. Always trying new challenges. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to cover about this. Just A, how simple it is, B, how powerful it is, and C, write it down. Whatever, remember I talked to you guys about this before, don't ever try to change more than 3 things at once. And if you're really struggling, just pick one behavior that you want to change. Whether it's that walking for 15 minutes at work, whether it's, you know, taking, another example I always use, taking carrot sticks with your lunch every day. You know, you got to figure out what is that little baby step that you need to be taking to move you towards your big goal. And then figure out what might stop you and make your if-then plans. And like I said, it's surprising. For most behavior changes, there's really not a huge amount of things that are holding us back. When we figure out why we're struggling and take the time to analyze it, usually there's only 2 or 3 barriers, but they're the same ones that keep coming up again and again and again and again. So that's why we make the if-then plan for each one of those, and then, you know, we're prepared, we're armed, We have defenses against the distractions or the lack of willpower or whatever it is that comes up. And then the world is your oyster, right? You can make the change. So that's all there is to it. I hope you guys give this a try. If you have any my tongue stopped working for a minute. If you have any problems with it, any more questions about it, you're still not clear how it works, just feel free to leave a comment for me here. Private message me if you want to be more private about it, or send me an email at yourfitnessgroove@gmail.com. I'd love to help you get going with this, because if I haven't already said this 20 times already, it's powerful, it works. So if you want to create the change, get going on it. So you can do it right now. Whip out the pen, sit down, think about it, get it done, and rock your next habit. Okay, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you same bat time, same bat channel next week, Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. As always, if you have any suggestions about what you'd like me to ramble on about during my weekly broadcasts, please let me know. I'm always trying to do stuff that will be helpful to you guys, and of course I think I know what's helpful, but let me know what you are struggling with, and even if you just have some questions, one day when I get enough questions saved up, I'll just do like a total Q&A session for a week or two. So anything really that's bugging you in the health and fitness arena that you want to know more about, let me know, because I'm here to help you. Okay, that's it, guys. Get back to shoveling snow. And hopefully it'll all be melted by next week when we're here again, Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern. Take it easy, and I'll see you then. Bye.